So I got a call from one of the most important people in my life, and some of you who've been watching this channel know exactly who it is, and she wants my help to beef up her LinkedIn profile so she can get more clients. Let's do this. Thank you so much for coming, dear. I can't believe I'm helping my therapist. Oh, of course, and I'm only charging you half my normal fee today. Shouldn't I be charging you? Anyway, my LinkedIn profile is subpar, so here's my laptop. Just do your thing. Okay, the most important thing is figure out your target audience, because it's gonna be a whole lot easier for you to get new clients and the clients you want if you design your profile for those clients. Well, you know I can work with anyone, but if I must choose, you must. Well, I would love more clients just like you, Brooke. Aw, thanks, that means so much. I mean, you appear all put together, but really you're riddled with insecurities. You have the longest list of phobias I've ever seen. I mean, who in the world is scared of split ends? You have OCD, social anxiety. Okay, I got it. General anxiety disorder. I mean, you've been seeing me for 10 years now, and we've barely scratched the surface. It's your endless sessions that pay for my lovely trip to Tuscany each year. Okay, got it. I will picture myself as we work through your profile, okay? So about your profile, yes. You know the first impressions count, and human beings are really visual, so the first things we really need to work on are your banner image and your profile picture. In other words, all of your imagery. And what's wrong with my profile picture? Okay, never mind, it's fine. No, you're holding something back, and we've talked about this. Conflict avoidance is a poor life strategy. I know. Just say, okay. Just say. Your profile picture sucks. Okay, proceed. Well, you're trying to build trust with your clients, right? Mm-hmm. So you need to look directly in the camera as if you're making eye contact with the person who's looking at your profile picture. Fair enough. And you should be a whole lot closer. People need to be able to see you so they can kind of get to know you better and kind of start building that trust. Really, the ideal picture is from the shoulders up. But if I'm all close up, is there enough room for Siggy? Siggy? Siggy, short for Sigmund Freud, my cat. Siggy has no place here. Okay, well, I have 5 other cats to choose from. There's Superego, Phobia, Carl Jung, Synapse, Psycho. Psycho's a good one. No. Okay, well, what else needs to change? Well, also, your background is super busy with that bookcase behind you. People should get to know you, not the bookcase. It's really better for LinkedIn photos to have a plain background so you pop more. Makes sense. And you need a picture that's crisp, that has high resolution. It just is more professional. Okay, well, just go on my computer and surely you'll find an option that meets your criteria. Sans cat. I think I found one. How about this? Oh, I do look more professional and approachable. And let me give you some other profile photo tips in case you want to update your photo in the future. Definitely make sure your photo is not a selfie and it's not a cutout of you with another person. The photo should just be clearly of you. Makes sense. And here's a cool tip. If you want really honest opinions about your photo before it goes live, go to photofeeler.com and you can get anonymous strangers to evaluate your photo for free. I kid you not. And anonymous strangers are going to be a whole lot more honest about your photo than your friends will be. Well, the big question here, Brooke, is did you try it yourself? Because you've had major challenges handling criticism. Well, of course I tried it, and how dare you say that? I really liked PhotoFeeler. You can choose whether the photo you want evaluated is for business or social or dating, and obviously for your LinkedIn profile, you're going to choose business, and you'll get results a whole lot faster and get way more results if you evaluate other people's photos first, and that's what makes the whole thing free. Very nice. Now, Brooke, on your profile picture, you also have a cover story video, like a 30-second video where you can introduce yourself further. Now, how do you know that's called a cover story? Not too many people know about that. Don't you remember we did a whole therapy session on it? You apparently turned it into a YouTube video. Oh yeah, that's right, we did. Well, we're not going to have time today to create a whole cover story for you, but in the description for today's video, I'll include a link to that cover story tutorial. In fact, I have several in-depth tutorials on different aspects of the LinkedIn profile, so I'll include links for those videos too. So you're turning today's session into another one of your videos? Oh, totally! Is she even worth Tuscany? Okay, well, let's just move on. What about that large banner area behind my profile picture? You want it to represent something about your practice or the way you approach your practice so people associate that with your brand. I also recommend that the banner image has no words at all or very few words because words add clutter, and there are going to be words everywhere else on your profile. People do not appreciate clutter. Okay, I'm going to create your banner in Canva by clicking on Create a Design, then LinkedIn Banner, so it'll be automatically sized correctly for the recommended 1584 by 1396 pixels, and let's see what we can do. Okay, so most psychology-related images out there are kind of cheesy, like they show people's brains. Oh, it's so cliche. But I did find a couple options that could work. Check it out. This one speaks to psychology, obviously. And this one with flowers might be nice because the image is bright and happy, just like you want your clients like me to be bright and happy. I felt bright and happy just looking at that image. And speaking of brightness, I brightened both of the photos and increased the saturation so the colors pop more. Well, excellent. Let's go with the flowers. That's what clients like you would want. Alrighty. I haven't been this excited since when I taught Siggy to use the toilet. Okay, but she still doesn't flush. Well, let's just keep on working through your profile, and there's a huge thing we need to talk about, and that is how to be strategic with your language. First, we want really simple language. We want to aim for about like a 6th grade or 7th grade reading level at most. No matter how smart your clients are, people absorb simple language better. In your last video where I was filmed, didn't you mention Hemingway Editor as a way to check the grade level and make corrections? That's right, we did. And you want to write your profile in the first person, like me, myself, and I. But it sounds so much more impressive to talk about oneself in the third person. Third person creates a wall between you and your potential client. Plus, it actually makes you sound narcissistic, even if in real life you're humble. Well, humility is one of my great qualities. But I don't know about this first person thing. 95% of LinkedIn experts agree with me on this. LinkedIn is a networking venue, and when we go to a networking event, we talk about ourselves in the first person, so we need to talk about ourselves in the first person on LinkedIn too. Very well. And we want to avoid platitudes because they're used so often that they just don't mean anything anymore. But what we do want to do is add keywords because ultimately, LinkedIn is one big search engine, so keywords are going to help us get found. Okay, so we're going to start copywriting now. And we're now going to look at the 2 sections that we really need to pay the most attention to, which are the headline and the about section. Now, your headline is prime real estate for your branding. Not only does it appear at the top of your profile, but it also appears when you post something on LinkedIn or show up in a LinkedIn search. So this is your chance to tell people what you're all about. Well, my headline seems fine. I am a licensed psychologist at LeBlanc Therapy. Okay, I've been meaning to ask you this forever, but your last name, LeBlanc, where does that come from? Oh, it's French for I don't care. I took French and I don't think it means that. Okay, well, I do agree we should keep licensed psychologist in your headline because that's important, but the name of your practice isn't important to potential clients. We want to use this space to show people how we can help solve their problems. And we have 220 characters, so there's enough room. Well, I know exactly what we should put here, and the only reason I can think of it immediately is because technically I'm a fictional character derived from your imagination, and this entire conversation is scripted. Oh, totally. When I wrote the script, it actually took me about a half hour to figure out your headline. For a fictional person. Headlines take time. And honestly, I can't even tell you how many times I've reworked my own headline. Anyway, here's yours. Licensed psychologist specializing in anxiety, OCD, mood disorders, and self-esteem. Joining you in your journey to create strategies for healing and restoration. Lovely, dear. Now you mentioned the about section. Yes, the about section appears just a little further down your profile. And if anyone's going to read anything beyond your headline, it's going to be the about section. The about section is also sometimes called a summary. So what should this about section or summary say? Well, it should expand on your headline, and it doesn't have to be that long, but it should include 4 things. First, the problem or problems you solve, what makes you different or stand out from your competitors, your contact information, and a list of specialties, which again injects keywords so you show up higher in LinkedIn searches. Oh, perfect. Let's work on this. We totally got this. This looks good. Life is full of challenges and you don't have to struggle alone. As a licensed psychologist with a focus on individual therapy, I'm here to partner with you to improve your happiness, relationships, and overall well-being. Instead of using a single approach, I tailor the therapeutic process to your specific needs and goals. I also give small homework assignments so you can enjoy momentum and be accountable throughout your journey. Please call or email me today to schedule your consultation, and then I include fake contact information because you're not real, and a list of specialties. Anxiety, OCD, mood disorder, self-esteem. Well, I am just loving this, so what's next? Okay, well, you know how we often say less is more, and usually in life that's true? Well, on LinkedIn, as we work through most of the other sections, but not all of them, more is more. We want to fill out every single section we possibly can, like the services page, the experience section where you list your current and past job experiences, education, volunteer work, and like everything else that applies to you. And for all the sections where LinkedIn gives you space to fill out descriptions, descriptions, fill it out with descriptions. I mean, like rich descriptions. The more you complete your profile, the more it's going to be perceived that you care about your job. So people are just going to trust you more. And from an algorithm standpoint, that also gives you a chance to inject more keywords so you show up in more LinkedIn searches. What about my past job experiences? Are you saying I should write full descriptions for my past jobs? Okay, well, for your past jobs, just write a couple of lines each. But for your current job experience, really fill that out. And you'll see I did that with my job description with Delaware ShoutOut. You can even cut and paste marketing copy that you have from your website so you're not reinventing the wheel. And you can also add media here at the bottom of your current job experience with links to parts of your website or a specific landing page or images. Well, if I weren't fictional, I would heed your advice because I'd have a website and media to share. But I'm sure your viewers out there will certainly take the advice. My viewers are awesome. Well, for your sake, I hope they smash the like button so that way YouTube knows to share your video with even more people. I'd be very thankful if they did that. And back to the more is more concept, there's one section on their profile that a lot of people gloss over, but really should be filled out. And that's the featured section. In this section, you can like showcase your value, like showing articles you've written or videos you've done or anything. Like you can attach so many different types of media to this. On my profile here, I've added a few of my YouTube videos along with a link to my LinkedIn newsletter. But there is one huge exception to the more is more rule on LinkedIn, and that's the skills section. Now, yes, you do want to somewhat beef up the skills section on your profile because it can help you show up in a lot more searches. According to LinkedIn, if you have 5 or more skills listed, you're 27 more times likely to show up in a search and 17 times more likely to have your profile viewed. Interesting. But you only want to list the skills that apply specifically to your field or your industry, and you want to kind of keep it to about 25 skills total, even though technically you can go up to 50. But why? Wouldn't more skills be better? Well, that's because people can endorse you for the skills that you list in the skills section, and the more endorsements you have for any one particular skill, the more likely you are to show up in a search for that skill. And people are not going to endorse you for every single skill, so you want to limit it to the ones that are really going to matter the most to get endorsements for. Well, that makes sense. Some of the skills that I have listed on my profile, I guess, are not relevant. Correct, your target audience, like me, we don't care that you are good with Microsoft products. You also want to put your 3 most important skills at the top, so if people are going to endorse you for anything, it's going to be those 3. And yes, there is a way to reorder the skills that are listed. So if any of your viewers need help with this, you'll include the tutorial link in the description below. Oh, I totally will. And that tutorial also teaches you the best ways to get endorsements in the first place. So in the meantime, let me go ahead and update your skills, and voila! Oh, marvelous, Brooke, simply marvelous. Now, the recommendations that you have at the bottom of your profile, how would I get them on mine, assuming I were real? Okay, well, let me first explain to our viewers here that recommendations are essentially testimonials, so they're hugely important, and what's really cool about the testimonials that appear on LinkedIn is that you get to check them before they go on your profile. Well, it is perfect for people like you, Brooke, who enjoy control. Yeah, I do want to control my brand, just as everyone should who's watching this video. Anyway, when you ask someone for a recommendation, you should totally send them a personalized message, because if you're asking someone to take 10 or 15 minutes out of their day to write a recommendation for you, they're much more likely to follow through on that if they saw you took the time to personalize the request. And you should ask about twice the number of people than you hope to get recommendations from, because only about 50% of people will follow through. It's just because a lot of people get busy, even though everyone has good intentions. And I have a whole tutorial that teaches you what to say to get lots of good recommendations that actually support your brand. So check out this video in the top right corner. Thanks, and see you in the next video.